Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 between two top Koreans. I'll be your guide Harstem, and if you look to your left right now, we'll be seeing the base of Beyond as we pass through it, a barracks and a factory. But you look to your right, we're going to be seeing the base of Classic, who is opening with something which has become a little bit more common as of late. A fast sentry, once the most hated unit in the entire StarCraft 2 universe, now a staple of the Protoss versus Terran early game, all because of that energy recharge change. A couple of months ago, a patch changed the battery overcharge, which made a battery extremely powerful, and instead you now have the ability with your Nexus to give a unit 100 energy. It will cost you 50 energy on the Nexus, and boom, bam, just like that, your sentry gets another 100 energy, allowing it to quickly scout with a hallucination. Protoss players have been using and abusing that ever since, and sentry openers have become much more common as a result. We see Classic actually opening up with a triple gate start, no robotics facility quite yet, and as I say that, of course he gets to throw it down. That's the caster curse for you. Alien, not sure what this guy is planning on doing, but... Ooh. Dying. Interesting call here by Beyond. Very uncommon move as well, to just lose your unit for free and not achieve anything with it. Something that we don't often witness at the highest level of StarCraft 2. Fake Oracle is making its way across the map. Is perhaps going to get spotted here by the mine drop plus Marines. No, it's not going to get spotted here whatsoever. I don't think Beyond is going to pull the boys away from this, because this is so obviously a fake Oracle. He ain't buying this. He ain't buying this. Beyond's just going to fly in here with his bad boy, starts unloading the Marines. I personally prefer unloading the mine first, because that way you can borrow it already and gives your Marines a bit more of a safe landing spot, if you will. So yeah, mine once again is going to zone this out. Still has a shot in there. Let's see how Classic wants to deal with that. We're going to get an unburrow on the mine out of Beyond. Good control. Lots of mining time is being lost. Another unburrow. I think that's unburrow number 4 here. And even more mining time is being lost. Unburrow number 5, and the mine will die before it gets to do anything. Beyond not dealing any direct damage whatsoever, but quite a bit of indirect damage. And indirect damage is often even better than direct damage. Losing a bunch of mining time here does mean that Classic is going to be struggling getting those extra gateways. Classic also a little bit supply bot. A rookie move here as he throws down a forge. Relatively fast a third base being added on as well. And Classic actually looking to try and deal some damage with these Stalkers. Let's see if he's going to be capable of doing just that. He's waiting for his Observer as we speak. Only 5 Stalkers. Now, for the people who have finished elementary school, they will realize that if you have 5 Stalkers, you're going to need 3 volleys on a siege tank, because a siege tank requires 11 Stalker shots in order to die. If you have 5 Stalkers, you could say, why don't you just shoot 2.5 times? That's not quite how this works, alright? You're gonna need to shoot 3 times with the volley. Or I guess you could redirect shots, but it's pretty difficult to do, and Protoss players not known for, executing things that are difficult fairly well. This Raven's now chilling in between in the hated dead space. Robo Bay on the way for Classic, who's just kind of keeping Beyond at bay. Observer in the front, Observer on the right. Gotta make his mind up. Which Observer does he take? It's Friday. Alright, 5 Stalkers here, waiting for a move out. Beyond, however, is not really moving out in the conventional way of moving out, as he's not actually going through the middle of the map. He's taking the long way around with 8 Marines, and he's taking the long way around with the rest as well. So these Stalkers can wait until they die, but this is not quite what you want. I hope this probe is going to spot it. It's moving in position. It will be in time. I really hope he stays here with the probe and doesn't build a pylon and pisses off. It's so important he sees this. He's just barely missing it. Just barely out of vision range. Look at that. Oh my god. World's unluckiest player over here is Beyond stims in forward. Is going to snipe the sentry instantly. Runs in, gets 3 zealots, 2 warping in, 1 that was idling there. Might have been an adept as well. Stalker goes down. At the same time, we have the Marine drop in the main. We have the turret in the natural. Oh my god. Triple pronged harass here out of Beyond. Freaking Poseidon with the trident is going absolutely ham here. Combat shield wasn't even done yet. The timing was tight. And yeah, it's going to end up working out for him. It's a lot of worker kills. 18 worker kills. Doesn't lose a whole lot of units. Colossus now going back home. Rest of the army also going back home, away from where they need to be. As Beyond, with just a swift maneuver like that, is actually going to deal probably near fatal damage here against Classic. Classic down to 45 workers. We have another stim coming in, and that probably is just going to be game number 1 here. Colossus still stuck in the main. GG gets called, and indeed Beyond takes the first map. In game number 2, Beyond actually sent out a second SCV after already proxying the first Rex. I wonder if the plan was to go for a barracks marauder all-in, but then this SCV got scouted. I think it might have been, because right now he's going to change his plan. I think this was supposed to be something else. Let's see how Classic is going to respond to this threat, because he has scouted it extremely early. This was a quick worker scout here out of the Protoss player. I really want to see what the response is going to be. Knowing Classic, it wouldn't completely surprise me if he gets a Zealot out. That is a Classic thing to do. It really is. Yeah, quick pylon before the Nexus as well. Instant Zealot goes down. I'm not a huge fan of this personally. Especially post-patch, where the Stalker... Yeah, question mark. Oh, did he just kill a worker? This is why you don't question mark the king. What the hell? Wait, why did Classic question mark? I guess Beyond tried doing it before and failed. And then he did it again and didn't fail. See you later, buddy. Yeah, it's just going to be a single Reaper being sent out. Zealot has been built. Now, what I was going to say before they started chatting is that since the patch, the Stalker now requires 3 less seconds to be built. And as a result, you don't actually need a Zealot anymore in the early game. Just getting a really fast Stalker is completely fine. It allows you to clear the bunker on the low ground if it is being built. It allows you to deal with this Reaper in time. The Zealot doesn't contribute a whole lot. And as we can see, Stalker is going to clean up that one Reaper that was created here. There is no second Reaper on the way. And that means that this Stalker now has the freedom to move straight across the map. I don't actually know what Beyond is saying over here, but I bet it is something great. Let me quickly check here with my phone. What are you telling me? The Korean English. Mineral water surface. Is it a pimple? What? Mineral water surface? Is it a pimple? And then Classic responded with ha. Like a ha ha ha. But just a single one. So it wasn't a great joke. I feel like if you get less than 3 ha's, in general, it's usually not that good of a joke. Like, 1 ha is... That's not even like a... It's not even a giggle. It's like a... like some air being, you know, being pushed out through the nose. That's a single ha. And the ha-ha is like a minuscule smile. Then once the 3 ha's come in, you know, that would be an audible laugh. But a single one, absolutely nothing. Ooh, good surround there with the SCVs on this machine. On this little Stalker. Love to see it. 2 workers do go down. Second Stalker stays on the low ground. I think what this Stalker is going to do is going to wait until this medevac comes out, and then it's going to punch the medevac a couple of times with the Stalker right in the middle of the face. That is what I'm expecting, at least. Sentry once again coming out. Oh, it was a Robo into Twilight. That is a rare thing to see. You don't actually see that every single day. You actually almost never see that. We've seen Hero play some Robo builds, but always going into fast prisms and then charge. I think Classic is going to go into Blink here. If I judge him correctly. I think I do. Let's have a look. Is it going to be Blink? And he's not researching anything yet, which does, you know, make the case for Blink. There we go. Late Blink. Okay, this is wild. This is some absolutely wild stuff. Observer moving towards the left. Medevac coming in with the triple mines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units in position. This shouldn't do any damage. This shouldn't do any damage. I think Beyond needs to piss off right now. He can't stay here. He can't go. Yeah, you can't do this. You can't do what? You can't do this. You can't do it. You just simply can't do that. Mines didn't shoot. Nothing got lost. Absolutely terrible car here out of Beyond. Like, legitimately garbage. This entire early game has just been bad for him, to be quite honest. Reaper did nothing. Mine drop does nothing. His eco blows. I don't think it's possible to have a worse early game. Unless you're like purposefully trying to throw it. Like this is as bad as it comes. Like you're move commanding your entire army into the opponent or something. But like, when it comes to legit build orders, this was really bad. It is not a good look. It's gonna try his best, of course, to still come back. I personally wouldn't mind if he decides to go into like tanks and hang out back home. Although I don't really see him winning that either. Like he'd probably just die against some type of A move at some point. Instead, Beyond's actually gonna move across the map here. 6 minutes in. Stim, combat, still like a minute out. This is just going to be rough. I am not really seeing a lot of paths to victory here for the Korean Terran player. I'm actually not seeing a single path to victory at this moment. Like the double medevac boost coming out here. He would love to snipe this observer. I think he knows it's here. He's just waiting for some scan energy, in my opinion. Yeah, they're dancing. Ooh, we're gonna get a full pickup. Did not get spotted here by Classic. Should know that something is weird. Something is wrong. Observer's gonna spot this. Does Beyond see the observer? No. It didn't see the observer, but the observer saw the drop. If he boosts in here and then gets sniped again, that would really suck, wouldn't it? Okay, at least he does get to unload. Stalkers will need to blink back a little bit. 5 more Stalkers on the way. This is not a great army for defense. There's a couple of Marauders in there. Oh, good pickup. Micro Jackson at it again, but Stalker count now is big enough. Ooh, misses a shot. Does not get either of the medevacs. Classic at 85 supply against 76. Third CC is on the way. Charge is about to finish up. Robo Bay 80% done. Like overall, this situation still extremely bad for Beyond. I actually think that if Classic manages to walk across the map at any point, he can probably just take a dump on Beyond's side and win. Like it's absolutely fine. It's gonna be absolutely fine. We have what? 3 sentries. It's like 8, 9, 10. 10 force fields. 1-0 for the kids at home. 8 gate. If you already have... He's getting a second forge. This is like a luxury second forge. It's like you know that you're so far ahead that you can't lose anymore. Let me get that second forge before the fourth base. You know, in case your A move doesn't actually kill your opponent, you're going to be up like 4 upgrades. Because that is a crazy second forge timing. It's really freaking early. Usually we see it way later into the game, but I'm not necessarily opposed to this. I'm not hating. I'm absolutely not hating. I'm just saying it's weird. Okay? Or odd. Maybe not weird. Weird is a negative connotation. It's different. Unique. Okay? That's what my mama taught me as well. I was a unique boy. Alright. 2 more depots in the wall. I mean, Beyond here is trying to survive on 2 base against someone that's taking a 4th. It's not the greatest look. That is really not the greatest look. He just needs to take a 3rd base. This map is hard to take a 3rd. Like, look at all that space that's here. A move from here. Puff. A move from here. Puff. A move from here. Zealot run-bys. Prisms. Like, you don't know where the threat is going to come from. You don't know, you just know that the threat is going to come. So, yeah, 2-1 starts right now. I think Beyond is just going to be setting up for, like, a ghost push, maybe. Although he doesn't have any Vikings yet. Yeah, okay, he's going to start him now. This is going to be weak sauce, this ghost push, if he's actually going for it. Very, very weak. Not loving this. Could add some tanks. And maybe could play like Viking Ghost Tank. Theoretically possible. Like 5-6 tanks. You max out. And then you try to get across the map. Holy crap, look at this vision over here. Classic is the type of guy to buy 3 pairs of glasses and then wear them all at the same time. He sees 3 times as well as you guys do. Look at this. He's like looking double walls of pylons. He's like 3 layers of vision over here. That is crazy safety. That is crazy safety. Classic always uses 4 different methods of anti-conception as well. Like he's not paying alimony anytime soon, let me tell you, this guy. Holy crap. Mr. Safety. Before he gets late, he puts on the safety goggles. And you never know what might happen. What the hell is this guy up to? Look at this, he's like pylon, probe, pylon, spotter pylon. Nexus. Spotter pylon, spotter pylon, spotter pylon. Semi-spotter pylon. It's like There's it 4 layers. 4 freaking layers. Good lord. Absolute machine. It's gonna move out with this prism. You know what I'd love to see? The gravitic drive is what I was gonna say, but it already has it. That's why it's so fast. I was like, man, that prism is fast without the upgrade. And then I realized the upgrade is just done. Absolutely the best, of course. Double Nexus now. It's like, we would not want to accidentally fall behind an eco, of course. I do like it. I think what Beyond here is doing is honestly just correct. I think he's playing correct. Like, he's sitting back, he's trying to survive, he wants to max out, and then get 2-2. I'm not even sure if he wants to do something before 2-2. I'm not even sure if he ever wants to do something. I think Beyond might just be okay doing nothing until the end of time. It's like he's happy, completely content, just staying alive, you know? It's like on freaking life support, but he's still breathing, baby. Actually going to take a pretty okay fight here initially. Now, there are still a couple of disruptors, but I think financially this was a fine battle here for Beyond. Look at this. The resources lost. Yeah, that's not bad. There is a small issue, though, and that's the fact that Classic has 2k minerals in the bank. Okay? Maybe that is more than just a small issue. Maybe that is a pretty serious issue here. Maybe that is a problem, because every single time you're going to have an even trade, Classic is going to outproduce you like a machine. It's going to pop those guys out. 14 gates as well. He has insane infrastructure. I would love to see 7 more workers here and a higher focus on minerals. I think he has too many gases. He has what, up to 6? 6 gases. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's, you know, that could be 6 more workers on minerals if you just cut out 2. Don't really need that much gas anyway. Floating 500. Okay, he's gonna go in again. Just wants to trade. Completely fair call here. He is losing a lot of resources, but he's trading out. And this is kind of okay. I think he clears all of the tanks. That gives him, you know, quite some freedom. Zealots stop this from landing as well. I think the income for Beyond is gonna drop shortly because he has like 6 mules active right now. These guys are going to expire relatively soon. Their mules age like freaking milk, let me tell you. Although nowadays you have these milk packages that last for like freaking 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not sure what type of stuff they put in there, but that doesn't sound very natural to me. You can open like a carton of milk, leave it out of the fridge for like 5 years, and it's still the same as before. It's like, I get a little bit suspicious, you know, and this type of stuff happens. It can be good, can be drinking none of that stuff. Okay, 2-2 is about to finish up here. Infantry armor level 2 and infantry weapons level 2. So finally we're going to have some okay upgrades for Beyond. Not great upgrades, mind you. Okay upgrades. Playable. Somewhat playable. When it comes to the upgrades. When it comes to the army composition, Beyond's not doing so hot. Absolutely not. Okay, here comes a... woo! Fat EMP. Triple disruptors. You're actually going to get sniped. Mine's going to get some big hits here too. Once again, I think Beyond is just taking a good fight, or an okay fight at least. Maybe not like a crazy fight. Wow, insane value, but like value, you know? Absolutely. The problem once again just is Classic mining 4k minerals a minute and Beyond only mining 2k. So at the end of this fight, we have 180 supply against 130. We have nothing left on the ground here for Beyond. Beyond's gonna have to tap out. With that, GG Classic takes a map. And we'll be heading into the rubber match. And that final map will be on El Dorado. One of the greatest Game Boy games that I've ever played, by the way. To be fair, I think I only played like 4 games on the Game Boy. I used to have a Game Boy Color back in the day. I had Pokemon Silver. I shared the Game Boy Color with my brother. Maybe shared it together. We had El Dorado. There was another game, but I can't remember. I know we had 3 games, at least. 3 or 4 games. We also had a Shrek game. It was like a Super Smash Melee, but with Shrek characters. But I remember we couldn't get past the Gingerbread Man, I think. It was like level 3. So we returned the game to the local toy store and got something else instead. But I can't for the love of me remember what that Game Boy Color game was. But yeah, El Dorado, you play as 2 guys. One was wearing red clothes, the other one blue clothes. I think they were called Miguel and Tulio. And it was actually quite fun. It was a platformer. You had a sword. You could smash people and you had to collect money bags. I think it's based on a Disney movie or like a Pixar or something, some animated film at least. El Dorado. You find like a treasure or something. I think we probably did finish the game. I was so young. You don't realize how dumb kids are until you become older and you realize with the type of, you know, you figure out what type of stuff you used to struggle with. It's like, I bet if I were to play the El Dorado game right now, it would destroy it in a couple of minutes. The same with that Shrek game. I bet I could beat the Gingerbread Man finally. That guy would not be a problem for me anymore. I also had a different game. It's like a 101 Dalmatians game, where that was on the PC, where you had to collect, I think, bones or something like that. And I remember there being music. It also was a platformer, and you played as like one of the dogs. I can't quite recall what the point was. It was like a Mario game almost, like a 3D Mario game, but you're one of the Dalmatian dogs. It's kind of weird because we had these games, but I never watched those movies, like the 101 Dalmatians. I think it's a movie. The same with the... What's the guy called? Like the Beauty and the Beast. I didn't watch a lot of these Disney films, of the animated ones growing up. I just recall watching Peter Pan when I was sick. I'm not sure if this was a thing for everyone, but I had a movie I would watch when I was sick. I would eat tomato soup, and then I would watch the Peter Pan movie. You know, that was the build order to get rid of like any type of ailment I had growing up. Medicine, that's for losers. Here, watch Peter Pan, free Wendy and the idiots. I don't even know what the boys are called in English. I don't even know what the boys are called in Dutch. That movie is a little bit different though growing up, like the Peter Pan. And isn't the concept that Peter Pan basically never ages because he's in Neverland? But in reality, he's very old, right? It's kind of weird that he's hanging out with young boys. No? Or is that just me? And I find it kind of odd. It's like flying around with them, going to their house at night. It's like, all right, boy. Don't know what you're doing, but don't tell your parents about it. It's like, all right, Peter. Pedo. But yeah, enough about my youth. Let's have a quick look to see what Classic and Beyond are doing. This map is really bad for the Twilight Council opener. Maybe Peter Pan actually does age. I don't know enough about the Peter Pan lore. But I feel like he's basically like a vampire, you know? Like he just looks young, but he's old, but he just never grows up. I think it's something along those lines. I think it's like one of the concepts. And he can fly as well because he has a fairy. I'm not sure if he keeps the fairy in a cage or not. I think it might be Captain Hook that does it. I haven't watched the movie in a while. I'm not gonna lie. Haven't been sick in years. Ooh, this is an interesting adept move here. 3 adepts shading in randomly into the natural, something you hardly ever see. Just kind of baiting units into the main base. Is now losing all of his phoenixes for free at the same time, but killed 9 SCVs. It's a weird opener here. Phoenix Colossus against Viking, Liberator, Cyclone, Marine. Really all that Classic needs to do right now is not die. And this sounds easy, but is often quite difficult. People have been trying for centuries now to stay alive forever. Never really works, and Protoss players have been trying it for 15 years, and even 15 years is already quite an achievement for a Protoss player to stay alive. Let's see if we can stay alive for at least another minute. It would be a very big deal. Be honest, massively supply block, as the Cyclone Marine is going to hit the main base right now. Is this blocking the Nexus? I think it might be. Oh! Battery in the front is gonna die. Mine is just moving in forward as well. Beyond's gonna deal a lot of damage here. Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, that's what you get, Classic. Lost a bunch of Phoenixes on the other side. And he's going to have to pay a significant price for that once they clear this army, which is understandable. You don't really want this guy to ransack your home and then let him get away with it. But sometimes it's best not to chase the guy, you know? Especially if he has 2 Cyclones, a Viking, and some Marines. Like, this feels like a good plan, but you could just end up losing 2 more Phoenixes and killing a Marine and a half. It's like, it is very scary to go here. So far, he's lost a Stalker, he's gonna lose another Stalker, and now all of a sudden this Immortal is, in a potentially bad spot as well. Cyclone moving back. One of these Phoenixes definitely shoot for good control on this Cyclone. Not quite good enough though. Can this Immortal die? Yes, it can. This is what I meant. This is what I'm saying. We have a Liberator in here. Oh. Gonna sacrifice another probe to the Liberator gods. So he's resetting up his lib. He got a lot of kills here. We have a triple CC. We have 2 more barracks. We have 2 more E-base and 2 more gas. The classic 2-2-2 follow-up is beyond. Wait. Okay. I thought this was his 3rd base and there was a 4th base going up somewhere else. But this was just the 3rd. Gotcha. Okay. 2 more barracks now coming in. So the 2-2-2-2. 4 times 2. You have an orbital command on the third base here as well. Nexus on the third base for my boy Classic. And you have 2 Phoenix hanging out over here. What are we doing, little buddy? What you doing? Because I don't actually know. 3 Phoenixes. Epic. Vikings coming out. Oh, this is the Clem follow-up. Oh, I've seen this many times. Clem freaking loves this build. Okay. Yeah, Clem actually, he adores this. He's gonna pump Viking, Tank, Marine. Actually, he's building Marauders. I thought it was gonna be Viking, Tank, Marine. And then you move across the map with like freaking 6 Vikings, 3-4 tanks, and then you win the game. But it seems like that's not actually the plan, so I take back what I said. This is not the Clem build anymore. Double Colossus out already. We don't have a Forge. We don't have a Oh my god, he's gonna add another Stargate, isn't he? Oh no. He's gonna play double Stargate Fleet Beacon. Oh, I'm well familiar with this opener. I used to think it was so good as well. But ever since the Viking changed, about a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, or however long ago it was, I'm not as huge a fan anymore. Vikings are too easy to micro against it now. Yeah. I don't think this is good at all to play. I really don't buy it. He's gonna throw down Fleet Beacon first and then second Stargate. It's triple Colossus. This is not fun. This is not fun. It's going to be a very passive game. Okay, that's for sure. A very, very passive game. Second Stargate. Forge now on the way. This is probably for cannons and +1 attack. These are the things you want. Fourth base as well coming in. We have these... ooh, look at that. 5 Phoenixes. Could snipe a medevac. It would be a big deal. Adios, medevac. No? Oh! Keeps it alive. Keeps alive the medevac. Keeping it alive. Here come the 3 Colossus. I don't want to fight this if you're Beyond, dude. Dude, I would not want to fight this if I was Beyond. I think Beyond's getting absolutely eaten alive here. Or am I crazy? I don't think I am crazy. I don't think I am crazy. I think this was a really good fight for Classic. Could it have been better? Yes. Oh, he's building Tempest? Oh. Oh my days. What the hell is this? Tempest? Really? That's the last unit I would have expected into the mix. Just now, Medevac 3 and 4 are on the way, by the way. Look, his army is pretty bruised and battered around. Been sent up and been shut down. Tanks also low. Like, how you're gonna heal this? You don't have the medevacs. Carrier is the follow-up. +1's about to finish up. Forward base, done too. Forward base for Beyond, also practically done. Now, if I were to pick a side, I would probably pick Beyond's side right now. Simply because he's going to get 2-2 upgrade, and he's playing against someone that cannot move out. Like, the moment Classic decides to move out, and Beyond gets any type of warning, like warning signal sent to him, whichever way that is going to occur, a base trade is just going to clear him. On top of that, this army doesn't have a lot of damage output. Like, it has no meat. You need some meat in the army, you know? You need some fat boys in front. Like some zealots or some storm to zone out, or disruptors. But this is an army this is like one of these technical armies, you know? You need something else. You really do need something else. It's too technical. It is just simply too technical. It sounds like, oh, I outranged the ground with Colossus, I outranged the air with the Tempest, and then... But in reality, what's gonna happen? Beyond's gonna grab this entire army, he's gonna press the stim button, come from 2 sides, he's gonna just freaking eat you alive, okay? He's a freaking bear. Gnaws your arm off. You're busy flying a drone to throw like a net on the bear, you know? It's like, no. Use the shotgun. Or like a bear wall. Can you build walls that keep the bears? Yeah, of course you can. They can climb pretty well though, the bears. And then one of the tricks, if you're being chased by a bear, is to not climb trees. Because they're much better at that than humans. The best thing you can do often is to... what is it? If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night. Like the polar bear really just... It's over. There's nothing you can do. Which doesn't sound like very good advice. If it's white, good night. It's like... No, thanks. Imagine you forget the rhyme. And then you see a polar bear. It's like, what was it again? You go over and it's like, white, good night, never mind. Could have saved myself the trouble of remembering. Time to die. Maybe if you zigzag away from the polar bear, just confuse him. Honestly, if I was being chased by a polar bear, I'd push my significant other in front of it, you know? Like a distraction or something. Like, hey, here's my friend. Eat this one instead. If it's white, good night, and maybe for my friend. Not for me. Hey, you think I'm stupid? Classic isn't stupid. He's actually going to clean this up quite well. His ground army doesn't have any upgrades, though. Oh, at the same time we have a fight. Oh, who could have seen this coming? A stim A move on top of the Colossus. Actually, this fight went less bad than I thought it would here for Classic. Yes, he lost a lot of the ground, but he kept some of the air units alive. The problem now is that 3-3 is like 25-30% done. If that finishes, like these carriers are going to be not that useful anymore. And neither will the Colossus. Like these Colossus have no damage upgrades. You got shield weapons. No, what's it called? Shields. Oh, just shields, not weapons. Shield upgrades. You're going to get EMP'd, bro. That's not how it works. He doesn't have Storm yet either. Okay, he's getting it now. 6 Vikings being produced at a time. We have a second armory on the way. We have +1 ship weapons already done. +2 ship weapons should be on the way. And then we're going to get the vehicle plating as well. Like, Bion is just rapidly expanding. Freaking planetaries. He's building Vikings at a high pace. Has he been trading well so far? No, but he's still in a fine position. This is the problem that I have. Like, Airtos is a little bit like mech, you know? Sometimes you see a mech player against Protoss and they take 1 or 2 good fights. And you're like, oh, maybe it works. But then you have so many opportunities to come back in the game against it because it's so hard to move out. Like, you move out with this army, you're going to lose 6 bases by the time you arrive on the other side of the map. Like, that is a problem, okay? That is a problem. Bion now is planning on moving out. Another problem is that this isn't actually the ultimate late game army. Like, you're probably losing if they just turret push. This is what Maru always used to do. He just built like freaking ring of turrets. And you're like, aha, I'll just never attack into it. And then he built like a ring of turrets like 5 meters ahead of the other one. And he just keeps going across the map until he's at like your 4th base. And then at some point he's like, all right, now I have to engage. And he has like 35,000 turrets reaching all the way back. You never beat that stuff. The best way to go about it is to then recall into his main base with a mothership. Used to be a sick trick against Maru. Oh, here we go. Should really get an Oracle in the mix, by the way. It does help out. Oh, he lost all of his energy on the Templar here. With like 1 EMP. Don't think we should be chasing. I'm not a huge fan of the chasing here. Not without any storms. At the same time, he's dealing a lot of damage. Dude, I'm surprised how well this is going. You don't have any turrets set up either. Here come the Vikings. No storms, no storms. Oh, no storms. No storms. Still no storms. Mothership in a lot of trouble. 3-3 upgrades are done. Like, you need storms in order to zone. He's now adding in stalkers, but he's just making this army worse. He's just making this army much, much worse. Stalkers are like a short-term solution, but they're not really a solution because they don't fix anything. Okay, this is like hiring me as a plumber. It's like, because I'm cheap. It's like, yeah, but I also have no plumbing experience. I can't fix your drain, I don't know. Your house is flooding, I'm sorry. I can tell you soothing words and maybe an analogy, but it's not gonna fix your freaking drainage problem that you have going on over here, boss. It's the same with stalkers. You think they might do something, but they're completely useless. You just want freaking storms and you want them spread out everywhere. You want a mothership in the mix as well, but the mothership died. He's now adding in cannon battery, but this is also irrelevant. Oh, we're gonna get a blink forward, actually get some Viking kills. We have a lot of stormers here. He really needs to split these freaking Templar. Misses completely on 2 of those storms. This is a good fight. Dude, Classic is doing this well. Classic might actually be doing it. Liberators are in here. Let's take a look at the interceptor count. It's 18. Oh, this is bait. This is bait. There's going to be no interceptors left right now. You look at the supply, you think, oh, Classic is winning. He's higher supply. But no, it's bait. Carriers are completely empty. This is useless supply. Tempests don't deal damage and neither do Colossus. So you have a lot of units that look big, but they don't do anything. They don't do anything here whatsoever. They just die. That's a terrible move to have as a unit in a military strategy game. Vikings are gonna get shot from a distance. Liberators are gonna stay alive. Very cool. This started so well. You need to realize when your interceptors are dying. I wish you could like set up a warning system. It's like interceptors below 30. And you just pull back, you know? Just go back home. Rebuild those interceptors. Because it feels like you have a lot of supply. Like, you look at your supply in order to kind of figure out how the fight is going sometimes. You know, it's like, okay, fight's been going for like 5-10 seconds. I lost 6 supply. This is a good fight. But then you realize all your interceptors are gone. You have no damage output. Like, you should piss off. Okay, you're going to get a couple of storms here. The storms are good, but the rest of the army isn't. So, same problem as always. Tempests die. That is what they're made for dying. Freaking paper planes over there. Archon in a little bit of trouble, as these 2 Marauders are sending some rockets its way. Some of them concussive shells. 6 more Ghost in production as well. Bjorn is continuing his rapid expansion. Has 9 orbital commands currently. How many workers do we have? 75. You know, this is a prime opportunity to actually get rid of some of them SCVs. Some of them mineral SCVs. Like, you're mining 5k minerals. Do we really need 75 SCVs? 79, he built 4 more. He's like, actually, 75. Too little, Harstem. Oh. I didn't know that. You tell me, boss. You tell me. Get a scan towards the bottom side. Vikings out here. How many is that? That's 12 Vikings. Air weapons. Level 3. Nexus here up top. Medevac here on the bottom. So what are we doing here? You have 2 freaking command centers. You'll love to see it. Here we go, storm. Can you get another storm? Can you get another storm? Big storm. Big as well though. Viking out I think is just too big, no? 2-1 upgrades. He hasn't continued ship weapon upgrade. I don't think it really matters. I think Beyond's just kind of gonna walk over here. Energy recharge is available, by the way. Could put that on one of these Templar. This was an okay fight for Classic because he didn't lose a lot of his interceptors. Keep some of his units alive. Like, I'm not saying this game is over. I'm just saying that it's hard to imagine Classic winning fights. Because so far, he hasn't been winning fights. And I think Beyond is more ready now than he ever was in the past. Like, his production is freaking banging. He's like 4 starports. His upgrades are getting better and better. The only thing I really hate about Beyond's spot is that he's building so many workers. He's 84 workers. Like, he really just needs to get rid of some of these boys. Like, you can just mule, man. Like, he has so many freaking command centers. He has 10 orbitals ready. He's building 2 more. He's gonna have 12 orbitals. Okay? 12 orbitals is the equivalent of 2,400 minerals a minute. A little bit more even. It's like 2,500 minerals a minute of mining. Free mining. That is what? 16, 30, like 40-ish, 45 SCVs or so. Does that math check out? I think it does. 48 SCVs maybe. I think it's 3 base, 2,400. So you throw away 48 SCVs once you have that. Boom, go down to 40. All you need is some gas mining, man. If you're floating gas, just get rid of those SCVs. You're gonna have such a big army. You're never gonna lose a fight. You're never gonna lose a fight. Because this is actually how you can lose. The way that carriers win is they win a big fight and then they camp production. That is how carriers win games, okay? That is the only way that carriers win games. And Beyond should know that. So Beyond wants to ideally have a fight on the other side of the map so that if he loses a fight, he's going to be capable of reproducing. That is the key here. And the way that Classic wants to do it is he wants to win a fight and then boom, rush across. That's why I love having motherships. Because you can sometimes take the fight to the opponent. You can recall into your opponent's base. Your interceptors are out already in that case. That is one of the difficult things when you're playing carriers, getting those interceptors out. Look, none of these fights have all the interceptors out. This is like freaking 16 interceptors or so. And he's losing them quickly as well. He only has 60 left. Okay, there goes one more carrier. Poof. Oh, blinking forward. He's gonna go for it. There's no ground support except a couple of stalkers. I think the carriers are gonna have a very good time here. Liberator's falling as well. That was not ideal for Beyond. It still was an even trade, but not as good as it should have been. It should have been a better trade for him. I don't think Beyond can fight this. He's going to lose a bunch of units here. Uh-oh. That's a bio on the run there. Tail tucked between the legs. They're pissing off. Another turret goes down. Couple of Vikings now coming in. Like, this is scary because every single time you reinforce into this, the interceptors are out already. And this is what I was talking about. Those straight up counterattacks are real freaking... yeah, they're scary. They're just scary. Not a lot of gas in the bank though for Classic. He's adding in this mothership. He has the Tempest. I really think Beyond is making an enormous blunder here by keeping 83 workers around. I think his army value should be way higher than his opponent. And right now it's actually lower, which is not good. Right now it's actually lower. He needs to 100% wait for the 8 Liberators. He cannot go before those 8 Liberators. Give up these bases. You have like 10 more orbitals, bro. We don't need it. Gonna keep the Interceptor tab open over here. We are down to 40 right now. Once the Liberators show up, these things are gonna fall rapidly. Splash damage on Interceptors. That is beautiful, my dear friends. Yeah, that looks good. It's a banger of a game, by the way. Holy crap. Series has been good. Series has been good. Absolutely. We got some nukes on the way as well, is what I saw here. Where are you, Mr. Nuke? Okay. Might throw it down a little bit. Do we have Cloak as well? Hell yeah, we have Cloak. Viking, Liberator. What's our lip count right now? Dude, these Interceptors are gonna melt. And like snow in front of the sun. That's how quickly it will melt. Pew. Big sun. Big solar power, baby. Okay, as long as he... Oh, there's an EMP. He got all of them. He cloaked, and he got all of them. Now he's going to try to zone a little bit. Do we have energy recharge? Might be key here. No, we don't have energy recharge. He needs to time warp and piss off, to be honest. You cannot engage in this fight without storms. I think this is bait. Interceptors are going to die at a high pace. Look at this kiting with the Liberators here as well. 45 Interceptors left over, Beyond at 180 supply. Wait, is this fine? 11 Vikings. Lots of Interceptors are going down. I'm very afraid here. There's only a single storm available. I am so scared. I am so scared right now. But maybe Beyond is the one that should be scared. He's getting pushed back. He is getting pushed back. Interceptor count at 39. Interceptor count at 39. Don't get over eager now. Just take out a base and we can piss off. This was very good. Resources lost actually just completely switching in favor here of Classic. And here we go. Big fight coming in. Do we have any storms? I don't think we do. Oh, this is going to be a huge fight. Let's take a look at those Interceptors. Archons on the ground actually dealing a lot of damage. Here come the Lips. No, they're not coming. I think Classic might be doing it. It is so rare to see carriers win. I'm just shocked. I am shocked to see this happen right in front of my eyes. Wow. I am stunned. You know, I see the supply drop for the Terran, but I still wouldn't believe it. It's because I'm very biased against Protoss. I just don't think we have a very good late-game air army. Like, if you have storms, you can, but... Man, that was crazy. Just kind of went there. And now, yeah, on top of the production, and it's over. This is how you beat them. This is how you beat them. Absolutely, this is how you do it. Beyond getting taken out here 2-1 by Classic with the carriers. I cannot believe this worked. Oh, what a build. What an execution. What a gamer Classic is. It looked bad as well. It looked so bad. But he won anyway. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you all did enjoy this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Actually, subscribe to the channel. That is important. And I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.